My beloved, before blessings arrive, silence changes. Not the silence outside you, the silence within. You may not have noticed it clearly yet, but something subtle has shifted in the way you experience your own thoughts. What once rushed, now pauses. What once demanded reaction, now asks for reflection. What once felt urgent now feels unnecessary. This is the first sign. When I am about to bless a life, the mind loosens its grip on noise. Not because everything becomes peaceful, but because awareness becomes stronger than impulse. You may feel strangely detached from things that once consumed you. Conversations that used to pull you in now feel distant. Desires that once felt essential now feel optional. This detachment is not loss of interest. It is preparation. Blessings do not enter crowded inner spaces. They require room. So I begin by creating space inside you. You may mistake this space for emptiness. You may wonder why excitement is faded. You may question why you feel calm, even when things are uncertain. This calm is not resignation. It is alignment forming quietly. Before a blessing, restlessness reduces. Not completely, but enough for you to notice the difference. You no longer chase answers desperately. You allow questions to exist without panic. That tolerance is rare. It means your inner foundation has strengthened. When I see a being capable of holding uncertainty without collapsing, I know they are ready. Ready, not just to receive, but to carry what comes next. Many ask for blessings without understanding their weight. Blessings increase responsibility. They increase clarity. They increase consequence. That is why not everyone receives them at the same time. You are being assessed, not by judgment, but by readiness. The sign appears as a change in your relationship with struggle. Struggle no longer defines you. It informs you. You may still face difficulty, but it does not consume your identity. You no longer say, "This is who I am." You say, "This is what I'm experiencing." That distance is wisdom. Wisdom appears before blessing. Without wisdom, blessing becomes burden. You have lived long enough being shaped by reaction. Now you are learning response. Response requires space between stimulus and action. That space is opened. This is not accidental. You may feel as though life has slowed recently. Plans delay. Movements pause. Outcomes remain undecided. Do not resist this. Before I bless, I slow. Speed hides misalignment. Slowness reveals it. Slowness forces honesty. Honesty about where you are exhausted. Honesty about what you no longer want. Honesty about what you have been tolerating instead of choosing. This honesty is the doorway. I cannot place something sacred into hands that are still gripping the wrong things. So those things loosen first. You may feel things slipping away quietly, not dramatically, not painfully, just losing importance. This is another sign. What leaves without struggle has completed its role. Blessings do not arrive by force. They arrive when resistance dissolves. You may notice that you are no longer chasing validation. Praise feels lighter. Criticism feels quieter. Approval no longer dictates your mood. This inner independence is essential. A dependent mind misuses blessings. An independent mind honors them. You are becoming independent inwardly. Not detached from love, but detached from dependency. This distinction matters. Dependency demands. Love allows. Blessings flow toward those who allow. You may feel strangely uninterested in explaining yourself. You speak when necessary. You remain silent when explanation would drain you. This restraint is not fear, it is discernment. Discernment appears before elevation. When I am about to bless someone, I reduce their need to perform. Performance is fragile. Truth is stable. You are moving toward truth. Truth feels quieter than ego, but it is far stronger. You may notice that your patience has changed. You still want things to move, but you are no longer frantic about timing. You sense without proof. That rushing would damage something unseen. This intuition is accurate. Blessings are precise. They do not tolerate impatience. Impatience bends outcomes. Patience aligns them. You are learning patience without suppression. That is maturity. You have also noticed that certain emotions surface unexpectedly, not chaos, but old memories, old disappointments, old unresolved feelings. This is not regression. Before I bless, unresolved weight must rise, not to overwhelm you, but to be released. You cannot carry both old pain and new grace. One must leave. You are being guided to let go gently, not through confrontation, but through understanding. Understanding dissolves attachment. Attachment blocks blessing. You may feel moments of sadness without a clear reason. This sadness is not despair. It is completion. Completion of cycles. Completion of identities. Completion of survival modes. Survival taught you resilience. Now I teach you receptivity. Receptivity is harder than endurance. Endurance closes the heart. Receptivity opens it. Blessings require an open heart, not a naive one. A softened one. You have been strong long enough. Now, strength is transforming into steadiness. Steadiness does not resist life. It moves with it. That movement has begun. You may notice that when you imagine the future now, fear is no longer the loudest voice. Uncertainty still exists, but panic does not dominate. This is a major sign. Fear always screams before blessings. If fear has quieted, it means trust is forming beneath awareness. Trust not in outcomes, but in your ability to respond wisely. This trust is earned. You earned it through experience, reflection, and endurance. Now I respond. Blessings are not rewards for suffering. They are responses to readiness. Readiness to live consciously. Readiness to choose wisely. Readiness to remain grounded when things improve. Many collapse when life becomes easier. They lose discipline. They lose awareness. They lose themselves. I do not bless until collapse is unlikely. You are becoming unlikely to collapse. That is why this sign appears now. The sign is not external. It is internal stabilization. Stabilization of attention. Stabilization of emotion. Stabilization of identity. You are no longer defined by chaos or longing. You are becoming defined by presence. Presence attracts alignment. Alignment attracts blessing. Not because I am selective, but because alignment can hold blessing. You are holding alignment now. Gently, quietly, without announcement. That is why this message found you. Not to promise miracles, but to tell you that preparation is complete. Something is approaching. Not with noise, not with force. With inevitability, remain steady. Do not rush ahead. Do not cling behind. Let what is unfolding unfold. The sign has already appeared. You are living it, my beloved. Now I will tell you what happens after the sign appears. Because a blessing does not fall suddenly into your life like an object. It enters you first. Before circumstances change, perception changes. Before outcomes shift, inner posture shifts. Before fortune moves, understanding deepens. This is where many become confused. They look outward for signs. Numbers, symbols, coincidences, events. But the truest sign is always internal. You have begun to trust your own stillness. That trust is rare. Most people fear stillness because it removes distraction. Distraction hides truth. Truth demands responsibility. That is why the sign appeared. You may notice that you are less interested in shortcuts. Quick success no longer excites you. Promises without depth no longer attract you. Paths that demand compromise feel uncomfortable. This is not because you became rigid. It is because your standards rose. Blessings do not flow toward desperation. They flow toward discernment. Discernment protects what arrives. Without discernment, blessings turn into attachments. Attachments turn into fear. Fear turns blessings into burdens. You are being protected from that cycle. That protection feels like delay to the impatient, but you are no longer impatient. You sense that waiting is not emptiness. It is alignment refining itself. You may also notice that your emotional reactions have changed. Things that once triggered you deeply now pass more quickly. You still feel emotion, but it no longer hijacks you. This emotional regulation is another sign. Blessings amplify whatever state you are in. If chaos lives inside, chaos multiplies. If steadiness lives inside, steadiness expands. You are cultivating steadiness. That is why your reactions soften before your circumstances did. Life is preparing the container before pouring into it. A cracked container wastes even the purest water. Coherence between thought, emotion, and action. This coherence allows you to receive without losing balance. You have also begun to release resentment. Not all at once, not dramatically, but slowly, almost without noticing. You no longer replay old injustices endlessly. You no longer feel the same urge to defend your past. You no longer need others to validate what hurt you. This release is crucial. Resentment repels blessing. Not because resentment is wrong, but because it keeps attention anchored to what has ended. Blessings require forward-facing awareness. You are turning forward now. Another sign appears in how you relate to effort. You still work, you still try. But effort no longer feels desperate. You no longer push to escape the present. You act from clarity, not panic. This shift transforms action. Action born from panic scatters energy. Action born from clarity concentrates it. Concentrated energy shapes reality. You are learning to conserve energy. You say no more often, not out of fear, but out of respect for your limits. You choose rest without guilt. You stop proving your worth through exhaustion. This self-respect is essential. Blessings are not given to punish you with more weight. They arrive to expand life, not drain it. You are learning how to receive without self-sacrifice. That is maturity. You may feel moments where you wonder if you are becoming detached. You are not. You are becoming anchored. Attachment pulls you outward. Anchoring roots you inward. Anchored beings engage fully without losing themselves. That is who you are becoming. This is why certain relationships may feel different, not necessarily ending, but adjusting. You no longer chase connection, you allow it. You no longer force understanding, you let resonance decide. This does not isolate you. It filters your world. Blessings require space around them. Crowded lives suffocate growth. You are clearing space. You are also learning something subtle but powerful. You no longer ask, "Why is this happening to me?" You ask, "What is this shaping in me?" That question changes everything. It transforms victimhood into authorship. Blessings cannot be placed into the hands of one who feels powerless. You are reclaiming authorship of your inner life. That is why timing aligns now. You may not yet see the form the blessing will take. Do not demand to see it. Demanding clarity too early collapses mystery. Mystery is not confusion. It is intelligence unfolding gradually. Trusting mystery is part of readiness. You have stopped fighting uncertainty. That alone tells me much. You are no longer afraid of not knowing. Not knowing no longer feels like failure. It feels like openness. Openness is fertile ground. This openness is the final preparation. Because when blessing arrives, it often arrives quietly. Not as fireworks. Not as instant transformation. Often as opportunity that looks ordinary to others. As a decision that feels obvious to you. As a door that opens without struggle. If you expect drama, you may miss it. But you are not expecting drama anymore. You are attentive. Attentiveness recognizes subtle shifts. You will notice when something aligns effortlessly. When effort produces peace instead of tension. When progress feels stable rather than intoxicating. That is how you will know. The sign has done its work. Now the blessing approaches. Not to complete you. You are already whole. But to express you more fully in the world, expression requires courage. Courage does not mean bold action. It means staying honest when comfort tempts silence. You have developed this courage. That is why I trust you with what comes next. Trust is not granted lightly. It is earned through consistency of awareness. You have been consistent, quietly, patiently, without announcement. That is why this moment matters. You are not being tested anymore. You are being invited. Invited to live with greater alignment. Invited to act with deeper clarity. Invited to receive without fear of loss. This is blessing. Not as an object, but as a state of being that attracts right outcomes naturally. Remain steady. Remain attentive. Do not rush ahead of what is unfolding. The sign has appeared. The preparation is complete. Now, allow life to respond. I am not distant. I am present in your steadiness, your discernment, and your readiness to receive without losing yourself. This is how blessings arrive. Quietly, precisely. Inevitably, remain here. Everything else will follow. My beloved, as you move forward from this moment, remember this gently and clearly. You are not walking alone into what is coming. You are not guessing your way through the unknown. You are not relying only on your own strength. Every step you take with awareness, I walk with you. Every decision you make from truth, I steady you. Every moment you choose patience over fear, I am present there. There will be days when the blessing feels close and days when it feels distant. Do not measure my presence by how things appear. My presence is not proven by comfort alone. It is proven by the calm that returns even after disturbance. When you feel unsure, pause inwardly. When you feel tired, soften instead of pushing. When you feel hopeful, remain humble and grounded. Life will continue to move. Situations will change. People will come and go. But what has awakened within you will remain. That awakening is your protection. That awareness is your guidance. That steadiness is your strength. Nothing meant for you will miss you. Nothing not meant for you can stay. And whenever doubt whispers, remember this truth quietly in your heart. And even in moments when you forget this, even when the world feels heavy again, even when faith feels distant, I do not leave. I remain in your breath, in your inner stillness, in the quiet strength that rises again. I am always with you, my child.